Hi there, Aquarius. Welcome to your end of May 2025 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. I usually don't use this phone because the camera tends to keep focusing, but it's not doing it for some reason. I don't know if it's at night or what's the deal. So that's good. Oh my goodness. Wow, it's so funny because one of the first things I would say about this Aquarius is, the major arcana cards jump out at me. There's 3 out of the 6 of them are major arcana cards, so that's pretty significant. But the other thing is that I really got a strong relationship feeling out of this. And I'm trying to think, is there anything going on? One thing that's going on, I think, and I said this also to Capricorn because of the Cancer. I'm looking at the opposite signs, and for you, the opposite sign is Leo. What was the transit that has recently been with Leo? Well, Mars has been in Leo, and for an extended period. So in that case, that would be the 7th house, and it even went back into the 6th house. So for some of you, it could even be work-related. Some kind of battle in the workplace, or that even spilled out into legal intervention, if you will, that kind of thing. So there could be something along those lines. Or, with the 7th house, if it was having to do with your love life. Well, actually, it would be like marriage or the equivalent. So the heart of the matter is the Tower card. And this is a card that a lot of people know about, the Tower moment. The moment when, the lightning strikes the tower and then all hell breaks loose, right? And it really represents, for me, it represents the volcano exploding, or the pressure cooker, the lid coming off. And basically, what it really is all about, I associate them with eclipses in astrology. And in a person's life, a private life, to me, it can be this idea of, like, if this is relationship related, that the parties have been refusing to really deal with an issue, and then it just kind of simmers. And then something has to give, and then all it takes is like one revelation or what have you, and then everything just explodes. And I could totally see an Aquarius person kind of not wanting to deal with something that is emotionally challenging, emotionally heavy, and kind of like suppressing it, and then it comes out. That's one of the reasons why the eclipses are these catalyst moments, is because it's human nature to exhibit avoidant behavior, and not deal with something that has to be dealt with. And the same thing could apply with career matters. When we look at the past position, we see the 2 of Wands, and Wands can be careers and could be the person at the crossroads between 2 particular careers. It's also, the 2 of Wands is also a travel card, and it could be like a relocation card, and you see that body of water in the distance in the mountains. There's like this question, should I expand my territory, or should I go somewhere else? And but it can also be like choosing between two careers or even two people. And I think with, like, for instance, with the especially with the personal choice of like partners, that can be, sometimes it can be like extramarital dalliances, and the tower card can be that kind of a shock to the system. But sometimes it might be that's kind of like a maddening thing where you feel like you might want to leave a relationship, and the tower card could be you find out that your significant other is cheating, and it's like you think to yourself, wait a second, I'm the one that is dissatisfied with the relationship, and this person has been cheating. And really, in a lot of ways, that could be why the relationship was suffering in the first place, because the other person's heart wasn't into it. Maybe yours was, but you didn't feel like that other person was really invested in you, and that led you to, be dissatisfied. So who knows? The higher message or the spiritual message is the Seven of Swords. Sometimes this can be about theft of some kind. So, for instance, sometimes it can be like actual physical theft, that you're, an example would be that you're with someone who is stealing your resources. I don't know, like how that would play out with individuals. Maybe somebody who's using you for your resources. But I feel like it can also be, intellectual theft in the workplace, that you're coming up with brilliant ideas and you're not being given the credit for them. So there's like this lack of acknowledgement and fairness in that situation. But this card also represents strategizing in private, and being very kind of careful about how you leave a situation. So it might be kind of tricky what you're dealing with, and you have to kind of figure out a way. Maybe you can't trust everybody to just confide in them about your plans, and you just have to kind of plan on your own. And even if you're the one who is the victim, if you want to call it that, like if you find out that your partner is cheating, maybe you're with somebody who's a narcissist, and if you were to just announce that you were leaving, that person, their ego is so fragile that it would create a lot more problems. So by figuring out a way to kind of ease out of the situation, it can make things a lot smoother. It can make your exit a lot smoother. And same thing applies in the workplace. If you have decided that you want to move on from a certain job or career, maybe you're choosing another path. Even if, you were to tell your employer, something, I'm kind of like feeling drawn to explore a whole new career. There are some people that are so insecure that they would take that as a personal affront. And so sometimes it's better off just to, figure out ways to leave under neutral circumstances, so that it's not, there's no emotional charge in it whatsoever. What crosses you is the Star card, which is actually connected to you, Aquarius. And the Star card represents faith in unseen forces, which I think even for an Aquarius person who tends to be a visionary, you're a fixed sign. So all fixed signs want constancy in life. They want to have that predictable factor. Even if they don't want complete doldrums, they still want that sense of like, okay, I can count on this in life. And that can lead sometimes to excessive need for proof that something is going to happen the way you want it to. And sometimes, like with the tower moment, it can make a person, like if you have something happen to you that you feel it was unexpected, it can really jolt your sense of I don't know, safety, security. But I often say that when you look at it after the dust has settled, you look at that situation, like let's say you find out that your partner has been cheating or that they want to leave the marriage or, the relationship, and you say, I never saw it coming. When you review it later, you're like, well, yeah, I could tell something had changed. But you just never thought it would go to that level is really what you're saying, but you did know that there was something going on. Same with the workplace sometimes. What's coming in, the energy, is the Chariot, which is connected to Cancer. Jupiter in Cancer is the next Cancer, what do you call it, transit, which is going to be, I think, I'm saying I think it's the next Cancer transit, besides, moons and stuff like that in Cancer. But that's going to be on June 9th, I believe. And then we have that full moon in Sagittarius on the 11th, and that one's actually going to fall in your house, the 11th house. So that's a very interesting period for you. And I'm talking about something in June now. So this may be a card to remind you of the upcoming Jupiter in the 6th house transit. If there's anything that is kind of like destabilizing your work environment in any way, this could be a card that is saying, Jupiter is going to enter that work sector, and then you're going to have more work than you know what to do with. Supposedly. That's what it could lead to, because Jupiter is a planet of abundance. So just keep that in mind. But the Chariot card is about success in the face of adverse circumstances sometimes. The Sphinxes are black and white. They represent duality. And the biker is in the middle of it, meaning that they're kind of transcending duality in that situation. And that allows her to not have to deal with one extreme or the other. There's equanimity in that situation. And that's that's a yogic term. And that's how you, get over these challenges in life, is by not going to one extreme or the other. This is a card of control. And the outcome is the Knight of Cups, which is an offer of love. Could be, as far as I'm concerned, this can be a job offer. If, especially if this is either in some kind of field that you have like a strong emotional connection to. It could be like a healing arts career or a creative type of career. And that Tower card could have been the catalyst for you to align yourself with that, because maybe that's what the challenge card, the Aquarius rules the house of hopes and wishes. And sometimes people don't believe in their own dreams. They don't believe that they're possible. And it takes a dramatic event to shake the person out of their complacency or out of their self-doubt even, and to begin to, align themselves with what their dreams are. All right, and that also applies for love, by the way, with Knight of Cups. This is a very romantic individual. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I do astrology and the tarot. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.